on the stage,
Yeah.
I don't care who you are or how old you are or how many times you've done something, your mind can just turn you around.
Oh, yeah.
That's like I tell our contestants, the limit on talent's 245, but have it shorter just in case you have a mental lapse.
River Valley voices, stories close to home. From Van Buren streets to wherever you roam.
Recorded over lunch at Mama B's. Talking with the people who shape our communities.
A non-profit leader, a singer with a song, a mayor, a minister,
Or someone proving us wrong. Good food on the menu, useful talk on the way. With information, fresh ideas, and something to say. Sit back, listen as long as you please. Because host Michael Woodruff is driving this bus, and he has the keys.
This is the Arkansas River Valley Podcast.
Beauty and grace is something that doesn't happen overnight. It actually ages like fine wine. Recently, I had the pleasure of being a judge at a beauty pageant. That is a far cry from the shallow events that we often see on television. With me today, on today's program, is Sherry Marshal. Good morning.
Good morning, Michael.
Welcome to the program. Now, Sherry, before we start talking about all these other wonderful things that we're going to talk about today, we are recording here at the Main Street Mercantile. And owner Marilyn Majors and Greg Bray are hosting us, which is a wonderful thing. We had some schedule conflicts with Mama B's, and so we decided to go up the street and talk to some friends.
It's a great place.
Yeah, so that's what we did over here at 412 Main Street here in Van Buren, Arkansas. And they have, of course, I always talk about the wonderful food over at Mama B's, and you've been to Mama B's
I have.
a couple times, haven't you? And so we typically talk about their food, but the Mercantile, Main Street Mercantile, they also have food. And now, granted, it's not Mama B sandwiches and that kind of thing, but they do have a lot of interesting things. And one of the things that I have in my grubby little paws here is fat of the lamb. That's an interesting name.
Very interesting.
And they have sea salt potato chips, and they're kettle style, and they're always cooked in traditional animal fats.
Yum.
It sounds kind of weird, but at the same time, it's like, well, yeah, of course we do that, right?
Yes.
So these are definitely not vegetarian. Are you vegetarian? You're not
No,
vegetarian.
I'm not vegetarian.
If you're a vegetarian, you would let me know, because that's what vegetarians do. No offense to the vegetarians out there, but we all know that. But anyway, so I'm going to open up this bag of chips here, and we will partake in our chips. Yeah, go ahead. Not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
Crunchy.
they're crunchy. I like them.
I can taste the beef. If you have, what's it called, alpha-gal, where you have the tick-borne illness, don't eat these.
Really?
Yes. People that get the disease from the tick bite,
Yeah.
anything that has beef in it,
Yeah.
they can have a severe allergic reaction.
Really?
Yes.
Now, I knew you couldn't eat meat with that stuff, and I'm always worried about catching that. I backpack a lot, especially when I go up on the Ozark Highland Trail and out in the woods and stuff. And one of the reasons why I moved down here to Arkansas is so I'm going to backpack more. Ironically, I haven't really done a whole lot of that since it's been working, running the business. But yeah, I heard that, and those don't quote me on this, but those tick bites and those allergies have gone up significantly.
They have.
So that's something I worry about.
I understand the deer population has increased, and the deer are major carriers, transporters of the ticks, and so therefore we are having higher incidence. But I was listening to a show just recently, and they were talking about how many things the beef producers have been able to get their product into. That's just like gelatin capsules that your vitamins or something, that probably has beef.
Yeah.
And people that have this allergy, if they're they can get in trouble
Now,
quickly.
I used to remember, I don't know, when I was a kid, and you probably heard this too, because you're only like 10 years older than me. She laughs. Gelatin, like Jell-O, was made of like horse hooves or something, and I wonder if that's the case, then would we be allergic to Jell-O also?
I'm not an expert, but I'm going to say yes, that
Why
if
not,
it has
right?
the
Yeah.
gelatin,
Yeah.
that it is derived from beef,
Yeah.
then yes, if you had that syndrome,
Yeah.
you should stay away from it.
Man, this is a totally different podcast now.
Well, see, the older you get, the more wisdom you have.
That's true. That's true. I saw a documentary. Well, it was a one of those cartoons on Facebook about older people, and older people now in our current society. And this is it kind of ties to what we're going to be talking about.
Exactly.
Older people in our society are kind of like, okay, you're older, you're retired. We've got our daily lives to deal with, and now you just go home and watch
that-
TV, and we'll check in on you from time to time, see if you're still alive, and then if we find the body, we'll just deal with it and we'll go on.
Exactly.
But I was the cartoon I was looking at was talking about cultures that, before we had books and recordings and that kind of stuff, the elderly or the older people, right, were the carriers of the knowledge.
Yes.
And that knowledge, of course, if there was a flood or a drought or something that happened like 40 years ago, and, the oldest person in the tribe were like, oh, yeah, when we did this back when I was young, this is what we did to fix that problem. And so they would pass that information down, and they would take people to safety or whatever. Or, how do we kill a certain kind of animal and cook it? Well, we haven't had this bird in a while. I remember what my mom did.
Exactly.
Or how do we make bread or anything like that. And so, but now it's to a point now where we don't think about those kinds of things, but that wisdom. I don't know about you, but my grandparents, oh my goodness, they were my go-tos for everything when it came to anything in life. I might not be able to ask about, how to fix certain things, but something with like an emotion or a family thing or something, they would be my go-tos.
Exactly.
And when they passed, it was like, okay, now what do I do? Now I asked ChatGPT. So there we go on that one too. We replaced Grandma with ChatGPT. But anyway, so let's talk about your organization and what you do. And now I'll set this up a little bit because I forgot. Okay. So you and I have known each other for about what? About a couple of years
Couple
now?
of years.
It's been
Sure.
a couple of years. And I remember I met you initially at a chamber event here in Van Buren.
Correct.
And you had your sash and you had your crown, which you have on right now. Do you go to sleep with that thing on?
As soon as I get to the car, I'll take it off because I always bump my crown when I get in the car. Yeah. You're talking to a woman who was not a pageant person at all. If it rolled or bounced, I wanted to play, ride horses, did the farm work.
So you're kind of a tomboy then.
I was an outside person. There were no brothers. It was my sister and I.
Okay.
And I did the outside work with my dad, which I loved. And my sister did the inside work with Mom, which she was more suited to. And I just
Were you
didn't
the oldest
care
or the
anything
youngest?
about it. I'm the youngest,
Okay.
yes.
And you're feisty too.
Well, when you run with your dad, who's 6'2" and has legs as long as you are, tall, you learn to keep up.
Is he with us still?
No, he's not. He passed in 2010.
Okay.
He had complications from Alport syndrome, which is a rare genetic kidney disease, which I got lucky and inherited.
Oh, good for you.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
So I have to watch my diet and
Oh,
different things that I
sure.
do. So that's why I'm up on some of this stuff.
Well, yeah, it seems like you know a lot about these kinds of things. But now, of course, you became part of the Senior
Miss Arkansas Senior America
I always
Pageant.
screw this up
There
because
you go.
I always put the Arkansas like somewhere in there that's not supposed to be. So tell us a little bit about that organization.
Yes, the Miss, and everybody does that, so don't feel like you're out in left field somewhere.
Okay, well, that's good.
Miss Arkansas Senior America Pageant is a pageant that is for women 60 plus, and we give a platform and the opportunity for women to showcase their talents. And like you talked about at the beginning of the show, when you get 60, especially for a woman, society wants to act like you're not there, that you're not useful anymore. And many of the women, 60 plus, we didn't have the opportunities like many women have that are 50 and younger. The age goes up as I get older. But when I was growing up, there were no pageants. There wasn't anything. Most women, as soon as they graduated high school, or possibly before, because if you happened to get pregnant before you graduated high school, you weren't allowed to graduate high school. You had to get married. So we got married and raised a family, and all of our attention went to our husband and our children.
Yeah.
And now that we're older and we have the opportunity, we have our pageant that women can enter. And many, many of our contestants are abuse survivors, cancer survivors. They've been through many things in their life. And one of our contestants in recent years had just gone through a horrific divorce. And she said, it's time for me to do something. And she has just blossomed. She didn't win that year, but she is into so many things now that our pageant opens doors for women.
It's amazing.
It is.
We're going to take a short break right here,
Okay,
and we'll come back and talk more.
sure.
Word of mouth can travel far, but it may not say who you are. Tell the world with purpose clear, so the right folks stop and hear. Your story strong, your message true. Put your business into view. WoodruffMedia.com.
And we're back.
Yay.
So that's the thing is, when we think about womanhood, motherhood, that, right after high school, you were just focused on marriage and taking care of children and that kind of thing.
And that was what was expected of women in that day. And those that did get to go to college, it was still the same thing for them. They were limited in jobs and professions they could obtain, basically teaching and nursing. And
I can say pretty much all the women that I know were either teachers or nurses.
Exactly. Or you were a stay-at-home housewife, and you promoted your husband's agenda. Even those who were teaching or nursing were still expected to promote their husband's agenda.
Yeah.
Because not until 1974, I believe it was, a woman couldn't have a credit card in her own name.
I knew you were going to mention that.
Title IX came into existence finally.
Yeah.
And things began to slowly creep forward.
I was a friend of mine years ago up in Miami, Oklahoma. He was a newspaper writer. His name was Jim Ellis. And he was a sports writer. And he wrote for the NEO newspaper up there. And it was interesting because there he was, he's writing. And then when Title IX was passed, all of a sudden his writing changed. Because now he's following women's sports and that kind of thing. And it was funny because you look at the yearbooks, because I was trying to find pictures of him, And it was like, well, yeah, we had some cheerleaders. We might have this little side basketball thing going on. but women's sports was just like not there.
Exactly.
And then Title IX was passed, and all of a sudden, you saw this kind of like this transition of, okay, well, we need to have some women's sports, but what are we going to do? And within about a year or two, it was like established, period. And he wrote about things like that. And it was interesting because, to see this guy who, that was his thing, was writing about sports, but now he's writing about, women in sports.
Yeah.
And so it was interesting to see my friend, how his writing evolved over that time.
Sure.
So
I graduated high school in 1970, and I graduated from Cedarville in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And fortunately, we had a girls' basketball team. Many of the schools around Van Buren did not have a girls' basketball team at that time. And I'm not real sure about Fort Smith.
Yeah.
But we did not have conferences at that time.
Yeah.
We played 3-on-3. And then when I graduated, and our team went to state twice.
Yeah.
So, and we only had 7 players. And so we played 6 and rotated 1. But when I graduated high school and I went to what is now UFAS, West Ark, there were no women's sports at West Ark.
Yeah.
And I found that really sad. We had PE.
Oh, yeah.
And during the PE class, I got to learn how to bowl.
Yeah.
And they took us out on the field in the springtime, out on the baseball field, and the coach is hitting fly balls, and I'm out in the field, and I'm just shagging fly balls with my bare hands. And she says, "Can you do that with a glove?" I said, "I've never had a glove. I don't know."
Yeah.
Because there was no softball for women. Not until, I believe it was 1972, softball came here in Crawford County, and I started playing at that time.
And I know that, especially from the mid-'70s on up, it's amazing how our conversation has evolved. It's changed from talking about a beauty pageant to now women's sports. But, Billie Jean King, for example, and Wimbledon and all these other things, how the world's changing. And even the Boston Marathon.
Yes.
I was surprised to learn that it was only open to men. And it took one woman. She's like, "Okay, I'm going to run it regardless whether or not. I'm going to run with them." And she got arrested for this. If I'm not mistaken, she did get arrested.
She was yanked off of the course by a man.
Yeah.
In fact, when I went to the national pageant in 2017, that's one thing about our pageant. Our queen goes on to compete for the title of Miss Senior America. And so when I was at the national pageant, I was the queen in 2017. Well, one of the women that placed in the top 10, her talent was PowerPoint on the first woman to run in the Boston Marathon.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Sadly, I don't remember her name. I just remember the incident. Isn't that sad, though?
That's sad on my part, too. I should remember her name.
Well, I guess we'll pull your girl card.
Where's Google?
Yeah, let's Google it. We'll find
Go to
out
Dr. Google right quick.
The fact that I remember Billie Jean King is a good in the thing. But so now here we are. We're talking about competitions now. Women who are over the age of 60, they're competing.
Yes.
Now, when people think about a pageant, I always think about like Miss America and Miss Universe and I'll just be honest, the swimsuit thing and somebody saying, they believe in world peace. And, it's like asking if someone likes kittens. Of course everybody likes kittens. But your pageant is not like that at all whatsoever. Tell us a little bit about that.
It is and it isn't.
Okay.
So we replaced the swimsuit with philosophy of life. And you were talking about wisdom with the older grandparents and older people. And the philosophy of life has to be recited within 35 seconds. It's a timed event.
Yeah.
And in that philosophy of life, the contestant tells about what has helped her get where she is now.
Yeah. I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit because you've got the crown.
I've got the crown.
What was your philosophy of life back in 2017?
I think I can still remember it.
That's good.
I think that's one of those things you don't forget.
That's good.
Okay. My philosophy of life, my dad always told me, if you have a problem, ask yourself the question, is there anything I can do about it? If the answer is yes, do it. If the answer is no, then shut up about it and give it to God, and He'll take care of the rest.
That's a pretty good philosophy. I like that.
And I have lived by that. There are many
Yeah.
times that I've been up against something, and I'll ask myself that question: is there anything I can do about this? And sometimes my answer is yes, and I go forward with who I need to contact, where I need to go, and hopefully bring that to a successful conclusion. But if
Yeah.
the answer's no, I just have to tell myself, okay, sit back and wait.
Yeah.
And I commit that to prayer.
That's good. Give it to God.
That's right.
Yeah. Cast all is, I think the Bible says that cast all your cares upon Him. For He careth for
Exactly.
you.
Exactly.
And that's something that's very, I think, important, when we think about those things. Now, having said that, you guys are apolitical and a-religious, so
Exactly.
So the God talk is very. I mean, you guys keep it very simple. I mean, it's just
Exactly.
loving God, and that's about it. But now, on top of that, your personal philosophy, what are some of the other things that a contestant would face when they're being a contestant? There we go. What would they do?
What would they do if they came up against an obstacle during the
I'm sorry.
competition?
Let me go back.
Okay.
Let me go back. So when somebody decides to become a contestant for the pageant, what are some of the what's the process of becoming a contestant?
Okay. If you would like to become a contestant, we'll just talk about maybe somebody listening would like to be
Yeah.
a contestant for next year.
Sure.
Okay. This is my last year as administrator, but it'll be the same process, except you'll just send the information to the new administrator. And contact through, we have a website, we have Facebook, we have an email address and phone number, and I'll give those all to you here in just a minute.
That's fine.
And we have that all on our business card. And just contact and tell me that you would like to be a contestant. And in April, our pageant is always in June. So in April, let me back up. Yes, in April, we send out contestant packets, and it gives the contestant all the information that she needs to know. It tells her what she can do for talent, how long. Talent is 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and that's also timed. And the contestant is responsible. I don't know any songs that are under 3 minutes anymore, or under 4. So the contestant is responsible to get her music, if she's going to use music, get that fixed to where it's under that 2 minute and 45 second mark.
The average pop, as a disc jockey, so the average pop song is about 3 minutes. A country song, on the other hand, is about 2.5 minutes.
Okay.
So
I know.
there we go.
I sing, and
Yeah.
I had to have my music edited
Yeah.
because if you are over by 1 second, the contestant is deducted 3 points per judge.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yes.
I didn't know this. Now I was a judge.
Yes.
You asked me to be a judge, which was really a different experience. I was not expecting you like, hey, Mike, would you come become a judge? And so when I was up there, the performers were singing. One lady, the first lady who came up, she was singing "We Don't Need Another Hero"
Exactly.
by Tina Turner, and I could have sworn that song was a little shorter than what was going on. Because, like I said, I know that song like by heart.
Right.
I mean, I was singing along with her, and I was like, wait a second here. There's something that's missing here. Like, wait a second here. There's something there. Do we have any other songs? Anybody else singing any other songs? I can't remember.
I'm trying to remember. Well, of course, we had music there were 2 people who were tap dancing. One was doing jazzy dance, and one was doing a tap dance.
Yeah, that was
and their
fun.
music also has to be 2:45 or less.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
We also had a lady who was talking about her art.
yes,
That was interesting.
it was.
She's sitting there talking about all the paintings she was doing, and she held them up, and she was giving a little story about them. And I'll be honest with you, I was expecting some kind of punchline.
Well, I think the punchline was whenever she held up the picture that looked like a werewolf, and she said that was her husband.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
I think that was it.
I think that was the punchline.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, is that the punchline or not? And I was like, well, I'll assume it is. And it is cute. It is still funny.
And we have a timer
Yeah.
that sits there and times.
Yeah.
And yes,
So who are the ideal candidates? Who's an ideal candidate for?
any woman who is 60 years or older is a citizen of the United States and has lived in the state of Arkansas for at least the 12 months prior to the pageant.
Oh, so you can't, like, someone says, well, I was a pageant last month, and I'm going to go over here and be part of this one now.
No.
I'm going to move to Arkansas. Here I am.
No.
Good.
And you have to prove your residency.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How does one prove their residency? I mean, that's kind of a dumb question, but
And we can use your driver's license,
Okay.
but there's a little thing with the driver's license, and I ran into it this year. Somebody that had just renewed their driver's license, and the issue date was like 2 months ago, and I'm like, okay, I need something that shows that you have been here.
Oh, that is a great.
At
That
least,
is a.
okay. And so they still had the other driver's license,
Oh, cool.
same address and everything. So I was able to take that and for them to
Fair
prove that they had been here.
Oh boy, I'd be like, oh no, I
Yeah.
don't know. So when these women get down there, what kind of experience is that? I mean, I saw some ladies, their whole family came.
Sure.
And then, of course, like you said, there was like one lady who's like, divorced, and she came by herself, I believe, or maybe it was the other way. I don't know. I didn't know who belonged
Don't
to
know
who.
who was who.
Yeah, I didn't know who belonged to who, but I could tell when they got up on the stage, who was part of, with them. So do you see a lot of women who are like, doing this on their own, or you see a lot of women with just a bunch of family behind them?
I've seen both.
Okay.
When I competed twice. When I competed the second time and the first time. First time was in 2014. Second time was in 2017. And my husband was there with me. I had no family. And then there were people there that had a contingency with them. They had
whole entourage.
an entourage. So it's both ends and everything in between.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And now, when it comes to the competition itself, the main parts of that competition, let's talk about that.
Okay.
The first part was we bring them into a room. I remember we brought some people into a room. That was kind of fun, I'll be honest. Just kind of seeing people kind of sweat a little bit. Talk about that process a little bit for us.
Yes, our contestants have a 5-minute interview with the judges. That starts the Saturday morning of the pageant. And each contestant goes in individually and sits before the panel of 3 judges.
Yeah.
While that panel of judges asks her questions based off of the information that she turned in when she became a contestant. And our timer sits at the back of the room, and when the 5 minutes is up, he raises his hand and alerts the judges that the time is up, and she's escorted back out. And we go through that till we go through all of the contestants.
Yeah.
And then when the pageant begins, they have a opening number that we rehearse the best as we can. We rehearse the day before for an hour or so. And they come out and they do the talent presentation.
That was fun to watch. That was fun to watch.
The opening number, it's always different. It's
It
always
was funny.
different.
Like one lady. I think she got turned around. Like, wait a second, which direction was I supposed to go? And she recovered really quick, and I was like, that was fun to watch. It was just,
Yeah, it's like I said, it's different every year. I have, even though we've practiced it, and it's like, okay, they've got it down, and somebody will turn around and go back the other direction.
Yeah.
But when
Nervous.
you're on the
Nerves.
stage,
Yeah.
I don't care who you are or how old you are
Yeah.
or how many times you've done something, your mind can just turn you around.
Oh, yeah.
That's like I tell our contestants, the limit on talent's 245, but have it shorter just in case you have a mental lapse.
Yeah.
And especially with the philosophy of life.
Yeah.
The contestant turns in their philosophy of life with their application, and they have to recite that verbatim on stage. And I'll tell them, don't go for 35 seconds. Go for 25 seconds. And that way, if all of a sudden you're like, I don't even remember what I'm saying at all,
Yeah.
you have time to recover and not go over your time limit.
Yeah.
Even the most seasoned entertainers forget the lyrics to their words, to their songs when they're on stage.
I saw a concert. Oh, I wasn't in a concert. I saw on TV. Who was that? It was Neil Diamond. Mm-hmm. I mean, he messed up "Sweet Caroline." Like, this guy has sing this song. I mean, you know it by heart. I know by heart. I mean, anybody who's listening to this, if you're over the age of probably 40, 45, you pretty much know "Sweet Caroline" by heart. Especially if you go to karaoke bars. and he flopped it, and I was like, "Oh no!" And now we know because he had Alzheimer's, and but that was like one of the first indicators was he flubbed that.
And as people get older, a lot of times, it doesn't mean they have dementia, but maybe things don't come quite as quickly as they did. And we're talking women 60 plus.
Yeah.
So, and then after they do their talent, they come out for the next competition is the philosophy of life and evening gown. So they recite their philosophy of life and model their evening gown. And, you know, like people that haven't done this before might think, well, that's no big deal. But when you're before a live audience with people judging you, who all likes to be judged?
And
you have
we'll talk about the aspects of being the
and
judge
then
shortly.
you have a spotlight in your face, and you can't really see anybody in the crowd. It can be, especially if you've never done that before, it can be a little unnerving.
I know when I was sitting there judging, you came in and you gave us the this little packet and all the contestants in there, and we went through them. 3 of us did, and so I'm looking at them, and you're like, oh, we have some questions some ideas for some questions, like ideas for questions. It's like, oh, and I felt kind of devious because like, ooh, now I can ask these women these some serious questions and see exactly what they're talking about, not just the stuff that's on the paper.
Right.
And so like some of them were like members of organizations, and so I'm like, when did that organization begin? Because that tells me you actually read, you actually read it, and you understand it or whatever. And the deer in the headlights was like, I think it was like the early 1900s, and I was like, yeah.
But that was good because our queens are interviewed.
They
and
are.
You have to be able to think quickly on your feet.
Yeah.
And the same, when they go to the national pageant, it's the same thing there. They have an opening number, they have a talent, they have the philosophy of life and evening gown, just like we do on the stage.
Yeah.
Follow it to the T of what's expected on the national stage.
One of the things I enjoyed doing was I had a bottle of water. And I brought the water and I put it on the table, and I asked the lady. I said, "Tell me about this bottle of water." And she was nervous. I could tell she was nervous. So she just read the label. Well, it's got fortified with vitamins, and it's 12 ounces, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. So she left, and I was like, okay, this did not work. So I took the label off, and this time I put it down there. And the last one who came in, and by the way, that was the winner.
Okay.
I can't remember her name. What was her name?
Allison Gooden.
Allison Gooden.
Jonesboro.
I asked her, I said, tell me about this bottle of water. And she got into like this really metaphorical, abstract thing. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
And the thing about it is,
it was like 10 points right there because I was just amazed by how she pulled that off.
After the contestants have their interview, they're not allowed to talk to each other.
Oh, really?
So nobody knew anything that was going on in the judges' room.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good. That's good because like, they'll be ready for that bottle of water, talking about that bottle of water. So.
Yeah, if they came out and said, he's going to ask you about water, well, that's not fair to the first contestant that just was caught off guard.
Yeah.
So, no, they're not allowed to discuss. No, whenever you finish your interview, you go back to your room.
Yeah. I really enjoyed in between the interview, that part and the show, we had a nice little lunch over at Colton's Steakhouse, and it was kind of cool sitting at this table with all these women and crowds. Because it was like, okay, I'm hanging out with royalty here today, and
We did.
and you guys have like a kind of like a sisterhood almost.
We have the national pageant calls it a cameo club, and each state can either just call it cameo club or they can name their club. We are the Arkansas Senior Diamonds,
Okay.
and it's a group of former queens and
Yeah.
former contestants that want to be a part.
Yeah.
And we tour the state entertaining and just going around and visiting retirement centers
Yeah.
and nursing homes. Yes. And we go with our crowns and sashes, and whenever we walk in somewhere, it's like, what are y'all? We never heard of this pageant before.
Yeah.
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 In
All
fact-
eyes are on you.
Exactly. And it's kind of neat.
Yeah. That-
But Constance Waddell
Uh-huh.
is our oldest Miss Arkansas Senior America, oldest living Miss Arkansas Senior America. She's 96. She'll be 97 in November. And she and her husband traveled a lot. They were missionaries.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the way, she misplaced her crown and sash.
oh.
Well, our pageant, after you have been the queen,
Yeah.
then you receive what's called the ruby crown. And the ruby crown can be worn in the presence of the reigning queen. And so all of us former queens had our ruby crown, and I found out about it, Constance, through the Van Buren Chamber again.
Uh-huh.
We'll give a shout out
Yeah.
here.
Well, your chamber,
Her
of course.
Constance's great grandson is a member of the Van Buren Chamber, and he came up to me and said, "My grandmother was queen." So we get to searching into it, and sure enough, it's Constance. So I invited her to the next pageant, and she didn't have her sash, but I had found out, and the pageant had bought her a ruby crown.
Yeah.
So I presented her with her ruby crown on stage that
Oh,
year.
that's nice.
And I thought, okay, she needs a sash. It doesn't look right in the pictures.
Right.
Okay. So I ordered her a sash. Now, I ordered the sash back in February, but we've had a few things called tariffs and different things that have
yeah.
happened. And unfortunately, let me back up. She came to the pageant, and unfortunately, the sash did not hit my mailbox until that evening after the pageant.
Of course.
Of course.
Of all things.
But I guess it was meant to be. Constance lives in Rogers. She grew up in Bella Vista.
Yeah.
And when I got together with those of us who could go, and we had a sash presentation for Constance last week at the Bella Vista Museum.
Oh, neat.
Bella Vista Historical Museum.
Yeah.
I probably have that name and butchered it. Yeah. But it was really neat, and we went to a restaurant there in Rogers.
Yeah.
And here we were. We had on our evening gowns. We made a big production, and we go into the restaurant, and everybody's, oh, what's this all about?
Yeah. You get that a lot, huh?
Yeah, and I'm passing out business cards.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's good networking and good people.
Exactly.
On average, how many women apply to be a contestant?
I sent out 30 applications.
And this is for statewide, right?
This is a state pageant, yes.
so that's a small number then, isn't it?
Well, it's yes and no.
Okay.
I'll give you the backstory
Yeah,
here
give
in
me
a
that.
little bit, okay? Anyhow, there were 7 who accepted the challenge and turned in their packets.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. It's not,
It is.
and I'm not bashing any other pageants, but I don't know of any other pageants that's like ours. The only pageants I know about is you enter, you pay your entry fee, and you go and you model your gown on stage, and you're finished. And after the crowning is done, you really don't do anything else. Pageants that do have a section for women 60 plus. Now, like Miss Arkansas or Miss whatever state, they have an agenda where they're traveling the state.
Yeah.
But the other pageants that I'm familiar with, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, they don't do anything else to promote that pageant or the state after the crowning. But we do.
Yeah.
There is a lot to do as queen. And I
We're
think
going to talk more about that after
and
our
it takes
commercial
some time out of your life, and so some people just don't have that time yet.
Let's talk about that after our commercial break.
Okay.
If you enjoyed this program and want to be a guest, send us a Facebook message or email Michael at woodruffmedia.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
And we're back.
Hi, Michael.
you chuckle at this.
I chuckle.
All right, so, sometimes we have to talk about how the sausage is made.
Exactly.
Right? So we're not live. But we do record like we are live.
Exactly.
But what I do is when I have a commercial break, I just stop the recorder, and then I start it up again. And then I add the commercials in later in post-production.
And it turns out great.
Yeah, it's great. And so if you're a business, this is where the marketing comes in.
Exactly.
So if you're a business and you want to advertise on my little program here, it's only $25 a month.
That's a deal.
It is a deal.
Yeah.
And we're going to give you 4 commercials per month. And we try to do 4 episodes. Now, having said that, there might be a month where we don't have 3 weeks. Or there might be a month where we have 5 weeks. So you get a pretty good deal if you pay for the package or for amount of time.
Everybody contact Michael.
Yeah, so you can give me a call.
Yes.
And check us out via Facebook or woodruffmedia.com. Now, your person, the lady who wins, the queen. This is probably the biggest thing of all because you don't just win and they send you on your way and you're home and you're just you're a winner, right? Like you would if you did a basketball game or something.
Yeah. Set the trophy and the
Set
crown
the trophy
on the
up
shelf.
and say I'm
Yeah.
pretty and people love me and go on with your life. Oh no.
No.
Now it gets real.
Exactly.
So what are the expectations of the newly crowned queen?
Our newly crowned queen, she has already been out there promoting the pageant.
She is funny.
She is. If
I
you
love her
have
Facebook
anybody
page.
that needs to follow her Facebook page, she's Ms. MS period Arkansas Senior America 2026.
Yeah.
Follow her Facebook page. She's got a lot of reels that she's been putting up.
Now, she's a former teacher, retired
Yes,
teacher.
yes, she is. Yes.
So she's got all sorts of insight on things.
But our queens go to parades all across the state.
Yeah.
We attend ribbon cuttings. Last year, when Buc-ee's came down to Little Rock, a bunch of us and the reigning queen at that time, we were down there at Buc-ee's.
Did you get a picture with the beaver?
Yes.
Okay.
And the beaver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look on the state Facebook page.
Oh, really?
Go through the pictures, and you'll see all of those.
Yeah.
Yes, and we go into, like I said before, retirement centers, nursing homes. We go read in schools whenever they have. What do they call it? Dr. Seuss Week and different things like that. Any place that you would like to invite us to. We love to come. We love to promote, and we love to promote your business. And just reach out to us.
Now, when you were the queen back in 2017,
1902.
1902, yeah,
Yes.
1902. What was the weirdest thing that happened to you?
The weirdest thing that happened to me as queen in 2017.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was weird or if it was sad. I wasn't well received.
It wasn't well received.
I wasn't well received
What?
as the
You're Miss
queen.
Perky. What's the problem?
People weren't used to the queen going out and inserting themselves into the public.
Oh, man.
And so I'm contacting all of these places. You know, we weren't at the time members of the when I became administrator, the pageant joined the chamber, and the chamber's been fabulous to help us promote since then.
Well, that's how you and I met.
That's how we met.
That's how we met. Yeah.
And that's how I have been able to be in contact with Constance and so many people that I'm now friends with because of the chamber.
Yeah.
But it was exciting. We had a pickup truck. We didn't have a convertible. And so my husband and I, we would get straw bales and put in the back of the truck and put a Arkansas Razorback.
Hold on. Would you like to come up here and say hi to us? We're doing a podcast. Come on over here,
Come
son.
on over.
Come on over here.
Say hi.
You say hi to this queen right here.
Hello.
Hello. What's your name?
Jack.
Jack? What brings you into Main Street Mercantile today?
Well, I'm basically shopping with my mom and my grandma.
Okay, that sounds like fun. School's
Yeah.
out, and so you're shopping. All right.
Yeah. Well, it's nice
glad
meeting you.
you're
You
in.
have a good summer, bud.
You too.
Yeah. That was fun. See, that's what happens when you come over here. We put you in a little show.
That's right.
That's how that's supposed to work. But,
We'll do a tap dance. This floor would be great.
oh, this is a great floor.
Did you see Allison's video on tap dancing?
No, I haven't.
Yes, she's practicing her tap dance, and so she went out and bought. I think she might have already had this, but to learn how to tap dance, which she just did recently.
Yeah, she just recently learned that, like, in the past 6
She
months.
has a square of wood
Yeah.
that she put in her garage, and she tap dances on the wood. So you have to go to her
She's a
Facebook
character.
page.
I
Yes.
like her.
And I share her stuff over on our state Facebook page
Uh-huh.
also, which is Ms. Arkansas Senior America Pageant, Inc.
There you go.
So you can Google us and find us. We have a website.
Yeah.
That's Ms. Arkansas Senior America Pageant.org. And then the national pageant is Ms. Senior America.
Yeah.
So Google any of those and you can find us. We are out there.
You're out there
We are
everywhere.
Out there. But it was exciting. But we
Yeah.
would cover the straw bales with like an Arkansas Razorback blanket or
You
something.
brought us right back to the store. I'm so glad because I about forgot there for a second. Like, what are we talking about? I had to get that kid on here because, so we're
And it
doing
was fun to
Yeah.
decorate the truck. And, I guess one time, this wasn't while I was queen, this while I was administrator, we were coming back from El Dorado. Mike is from there. And the steer decided it wanted to get in front of us.
Oh.
And so it took out the like half of the front of the truck on the passenger side.
Oh, no.
And we had a parade that next week, and so we just covered that up with some stuff.
You just MacGyvered it, huh?
We just decorated
That's
that.
cool.
So,
That's cute.
in fact, it was the Christmas parade. So that was coming after we were down there on Thanksgiving, and I just covered it with some green and red.
Now, during the competition down here at the theater, we had some time frames where things were a little behind. And you decided you there you are standing in front of a lot of people, and you're like, okay, I've got to do something here.
Exactly.
So you sang an early American song, early Arkansas song,
Yes.
and a couple of folks I talked to after the program told me they never heard that song.
That doesn't surprise me.
So you know what's coming, right?
Sure.
So, if you could, can you perform that for us right now?
Sure.
All right.
I think there may be another verse, but this is the one I know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
All right. On a lonely road many years ago, a traveler trod with a fiddle and a bow. While rambling through the country, rich and grand, he quickly sensed the magic and the beauty of the land. For the wonder state will sing a song and lift our voices loud and long. For the wonder state we shout hoorah and praise the opportunities we find in Arkansas.
That's cute. I love it.
Do you remember when we were the land of opportunity? That was on all our tags, the land of opportunity.
Well, I'm not from Arkansas. I'm from Missouri, so I
Show me.
But yeah, but I did go down to Eureka Springs quite a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I do remember seeing the land of opportunity. And then, of course, the natural state, which is the current one right now, I believe. And I had to look at my license plate again. I think it's the natural state still, right? Have we changed that?
But yeah, we're the natural
Okay,
state now.
okay. When was the land of opportunity? When was that done?
Well,
Since you
I
brought it up.
graduated high school in 1970. It was land of opportunity then.
Okay.
I
think
don't
it was-
remember the year when it changed over to the natural state.
I was saying it was like late 90s or something like that.
Where's Dr. Google?
I know. It's Dr. Google. Ask him that.
But
there's
I am
somebody
not.
who's out there in the
I
audience.
am not
Yeah.
an Arkansan. I'm an
Yeah.
Arkansasier.
Now, you talked about that too,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken. You talked about that during during that time too, because you were. Explain that a little bit. Being an Arkansasier.
We The Native Americans who lived here, the way I understand this,
Yeah.
so if I'm wrong, forgive me, people, were the Arkansas tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere along the way, our legislature decided that we would be Arkansans. And I'm personally not from Kansas. I think we should stay with the Native American tribe our state was named after, which was Arkansas, Arkansaw. And so Tom Wing, who
We'll have him on the vote
have
program
him
down
on
the
there,
road.
he is
Oh, yeah.
also an Arkansawyer.
Hey, if Tom Wing says he's an Arkansawyer, then I guess I probably should do the same thing because
Yes.
he teaches history and a lot smarter than me.
Yes, yes.
So
Tom
I'm glad you
does-
brought this up. Okay,
Yes.
so Cheryl and I, my girlfriend, you know
Yes.
her. We went to Little Rock for 4th of July, and I thought I took a picture of it. I did not take a picture of it, but it had the outline of all those words on there.
Okay.
A little park there along the river, and it shows the evolution of when it was used, and how and the origins of the Native American tribes and that kind of thing. And the Quapaws are the ones that came up with that. So the
Okay.
Quapaw tribe is now over in Miami, Oklahoma, which is kind of cool because that's where I'm from, business wise. But so anyway, there we go.
There we go.
Now we got some information there.
Now we got some information.
Well, we got about a couple of minutes left of
Okay.
the program. Was there anything else you'd like to discuss, talk about?
I would just like to encourage women all across the state of Arkansas
Yeah.
to check us out. Check out our website, ms.arkansassenioramerica.org, or our Facebook page, Ms. Arkansas Senior America, Inc., and see what we're about. I would encourage you to step out of that comfort zone. This may have been something that you've been wanting to do, or maybe something you never even thought about doing. We have a wonderful sisterhood of women. We uplift each other. And we would love for you to come and be a part of this. It's a time to grow. You have done your part in raising your children or helping your husband's career, and now it's time for you to have some fun.
Sherry, I want to thank you very much for coming down and being part of our program.
Thank you for inviting me, Michael. Appreciate
and,
you.
We look forward to seeing and hearing from you in other aspects because I know you're stepping down and you're going to be doing other things, right?
Exactly. I'm going to be the busy woman. I'll still be involved with the pageant.
You will be. Okay, cool.
I will still be an officer, but Margaret lives in Little Rock, and I think I have taken the pageant further than it was.
Yeah.
And I think being in the middle of the state, that more women might see a bigger opportunity
Yeah.
to not have to travel so far if they live on the other side of the state.
Yeah.
And Margaret will do a great job. She's an
she's
officer now. She's been very involved with the
Yeah.
pageant, and she's out promoting our pageant all the time.
Yeah. Thank you, Mitch. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you.